Hello. Hey, y'all. I'm letting y'all get in here. Let me check my audio first. Okay, we got it. Oh, yeah, we do. We got a couple things to go over. While y'all come in, let me jump on this back end and fix some stuff now that I'm actually live. I have to switch everything over to the new stream that was basically created. So y'all give me 1 second. And I'm gonna start because we got some stuff to go over. Some of it is funny, some of it is typical banditry. Y'all know how bandits do, creating alternate realities, and y'all know the black male worshipers are there to help them do it. It just is what it is. And largely, listen, we don't really care about what the passport bandits do. I honestly wish they would just get their passports and go already. I don't know why they're still talking about it. Hey, Themis, how are you? I'm actually trying to get this in early so I can actually listen to yours. I got to go work out, actually. So this is not going to be a super long live stream. I got so much to do. I got to take my car to the shop. Well, y'all know how irritating car repairs are. But I had to go get my car inspected. I need to work out after this. So I just got a bunch of stuff to do. You said they are going after listen, oh my God, I don't even want to talk about the pearly dead fish situation again because I feel like it's literally like beating a dead fish, I guess. I feel like it's kind of beating it. But let me tell y'all, the black male worshipers are imploding on each other, just like the bandits in that space are fighting amongst each other too. They really are. They getting it in with each other. I'm telling y'all, it's actually quite interesting to watch and listen to. But nonetheless, yes, the black male worshipers are having a battle between themselves and whether or not they're going to ruffle the feathers of these treasonous bandits and call out the pearly dead fish when really yes, theme is the holding black women accountable. Listen, nobody is going to come because I've done live streams back in the day. This was I think over a year ago or something. But I've done live streams asking about accountability, and from what I gather, the only thing they really think black women should be held accountable for is welfare and birthing babies or whatever. But I can't wait to listen to yours because I think they're probably more comfortable talking to you than me because they're not going to come on here and really be honest about where they think this accountability should lie. But I definitely do think what ultimately is going to come out is a reoccurring theme, and that's black women giving birth to their children. And that's because black women should not be giving birth to really them or their children. I mean, I don't understand. And I want to do a live stream and ask black women, why do they keep birthing children into this system? Because one thing I noticed, and if y'all want to find out about nature, and not just how males naturally interact, what's in their nature to do and what's in female natures to do. Netflix has a number of different documentaries on animals. And a lot of people think that providing, protecting, finding certain environments to birth children in, safer environments conducive to the well-being of their offspring. People think that's like a concept that was created by whiteness. I noticed that like black people are so detached from everything and any type of originality that they think all of their concepts come from white people. And that really just shows me how much of a pedestal they've placed them on, because some concepts are just based on nature. And if you watch some of the documentaries on Netflix, you will see that there are certain things that are instilled in males and females. One of the things that are instilled in women and females, women is a human term, but I'll say females for the sake of this because all animals do this, is finding environments that are conducive to birthing their offspring in. And that means environments where the males are protecting the community. Even some animals even have community support, like penguins. Penguins have a lot of community supports. They create their little penguin version of childcare where the other parents go out and search for food. But anyway, certain things are inbred in organisms. And what we're finding is that Black women are the only group of women or females, and I'm saying females because this includes animals too. This is why y'all really need to check bandits for calling you females. It's one of the ways to dehumanize you. The reason we create the term woman and male is because these are human terms to describe human females and males. So we use men and women to do that. Let me tell y'all something about lions, because people typically bring up lions as a way to justify these bandits not providing. Do y'all put a one in the chat box if you know why female lions are the hunters? Put a one in the chat box if you know the biology and the science behind why female lions are the hunters and male lions are not. Because we're going to do an educational crash course right now. It's not going to be too lengthy, but put a one in the chat box because the lions come up quite a bit. Whenever bandits want to justify why they don't provide for their communities, even though the only thing that the male lion doesn't do is go out and hunt for food. Okay, so if y'all putting a one in the chat box, then tell me what is the biology behind why male lions do not hunt? Can somebody briefly put it in the chat box? What is the biology behind why male lions don't hunt? Okay, exactly. Kimberly Jones, not only are the female lions faster and slimmer, they also don't have a mane. The mane of the male body of the male lion will overheat his body if he is out hunting. This is why the female lions do it, because their biology is more conducive to effective hunting. The male lions are too big, their manes are too heavy, and they will overheat. So that's the only reason why they don't do it. But in every other way, the male lions still do protect and they still do provide. The only thing they don't do is go out and hunt. And that's because the female lion's physiology is more conducive to effective hunting. That's why. And it's interesting how you will have, bandits and black male worshipers who will be like, well, did the male lion don't hunt? Why though? Nobody ever wants to ask the question of why. I mean, Themis does a very good job of it, and I like watching him do these debates and deconstruct what bandits are saying, because a lot of people don't ask the question of why. And you would think it would be a simple question. If you ask why or how or when, I guess if you ask the who, what, when, where, whys, and hows of a situation, you can really get down to the bottom of things. So you will have bandits throwing out a lot of things talking about, but nobody ever wants to ask them why. But I have a question for black women. Why are you birthing black babies in general? Now, we can sit here and separate it from gender, but whatever. Y'all know I think obviously one gender is performing way better than the other. One gender is far more problematic than the other. But at the end of the day, the question of the day is, why are black women birthing children into this environment? An environment that they have already deemed hostile, unsafe, lacking male provision, lacking male protection, lacking positive male influence. So nothing about the environment is conducive to the safe upbringing of your offspring, but you continue to go against the nature of females in general and birth your children into very toxic, very dangerous neighborhoods or environments. Why? I'm just curious as to why. And I don't even know why black women don't ask themselves this why either. Why do you think it's okay to birth children in this toxic, dangerous environment? I want to know. Hey, Ivy, you said he can't pay you to do it again. I'm saying, listen, a strong argument would have to be made, a strong one. I gotta really want a baby if I'm birthing one in this society, and it would only be a female. These eggs will scramble. Okay. In fact, these eggs are not even on the market to birth a male. And look, whoever wants to do the shaming, y'all can save me the shaming tactics. I really don't care. I am not obligated to birth a male in society, and quite frankly, until males who are adults show that they're going to be fathers, they're going to be protectors, providers, clean up this tacky, dirty, toxic environment that we in. No, I don't have to. I don't have to. And I think Black women need to understand that you don't have to birth males into society. You don't have to. You're not obligated to. Just because you can does not mean that you should. And what Black women should do is be more mindful of the environment that they are birthing their children into, because one of the reasons that these bandits don't like you is because you continue to birth them in this type of environment, an environment that you already know is hostile, an environment that you already know targets them, an environment that you feel like isn't safe for them, a society where when they get older, they're going to be locked out of the workforce. They're not going to be able to actualize like males of other communities. So why would you continue to birth them into these situations? I don't understand it. Renaissance woman said Black women are meant to dominate. If Black men would accept their assignments, I'm not being funny, sorry. Right, but if you are the ones who bring Black men into existence, if they're not cooperating with your assignment, why are you still birthing them into existence? Where is the consequence for their lack of cooperation? I'm fine with Black women being meant to dominate, but what I see is Black women out here worshiping their creations. They're ungrateful creation. Their treasonous, treacherous, scandalous creation. I just want to know. I really do. I really do. If anybody can tell me, that would be great. Hey, Stormy. Storm said they mad as hell about the female only child thing. I hear it in other chats all the time. Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, animals of all species, if animals give birth to a runt or an ineffective offspring, they don't sit there and contemplate whether they should keep producing it or not. They just get rid of it. And if y'all are going to compare yourself to animals, which is done all the time with the narrative, oh, we are animals, we're just higher level thinking animals. Okay, cool, fine. So why are you not regarding your offspring the way other animals do? When they birth ineffective animals, they simply get rid of them. They either eat them, they leave them, they find some way to discard them. So what is the problem, Black women? Is it that you worship your offspring too much to where if it comes out clearly defective, you feel as though, first of all, how many generations of defectiveness do you need to have? How many generations of it? Because these bandits are telling you that they are ineffective. Like, let me share the screen with y'all and go over this post. And I was gonna do it later, but I think I'm gonna do it now. I was gonna do it later, but let me just do it now while we're on the level of ineffectiveness. Because these bandits will sit here and tell you how ineffective and useless they are. They'll tell you. So let me get my chat box up so I can read y'all's chats as we do this. And let me let y'all hear this foolishness.
The very stability of the family and taking away one of the two parents the children, of course, need. And what I have seen, I'm afraid to say, all over the country is that the legal system works against the best kind of home for these children and living.
The man in the house rule was written to prevent welfare cheating, to make sure that aid to families with dependent children would go only to families headed by mothers. But the effect of the man in the house rule is to create for children an atmosphere of investigation and surveillance. And thus, the welfare system in its operation turns out to be a system to make life harder for children.
The welfare system helped the disintegration of the American family. It offers money to families if the fathers will leave them and stay away, in that sense undoing the very stability of the family and taking away one of the two parents the children, of course, need. And what I have seen, I'm afraid to say, all over the country is that the legal system works against the best kind of home for these children. And living.
Okay, now, so we've already heard this tired, weak, worn out, beat a dead horse narrative of welfare put them out the home, which, by the way, if they're saying that welfare put them out the home, by default, they are defective males. Okay? By default, they're defective males if some other group of males can come and remove you from your home. It just is what it is. But at the end of the day, this is not even what the man out of the home rule was. And I get annoyed with this narrative because there's a black male worshiper in here that I'm going to show you as well, because she on her black male worship, hardcore, rewriting history, okay? A black male worshiper will sit up here and rewrite history to get these ineffective struggle bandits who are telling you they're weak and neutered. As a group of males, if another group of men can come and remove you out of the home, render your presence useless by simply giving a woman some food stamps, then you was just a nothing ass bitch to begin with at the end of the day. I know it sounds harsh, but at the end of the day, that is what it is. So they're already by default telling you, hey, we are ineffective. We're defective males. We simply don't know. And mind you, this is post being on a plantation for 400 years. When are we going to admit to ourselves that any group of men who are on a plantation, mind you, black women were still birthing males on a plantation too, still not looking at the environment? Some black women on the plantation decided not to. That's a story they don't tell you. They don't tell you how many black women on the plantation were actually deciding not to birth their children in those environments. So some black women were smart enough to activate female nature and say, this is not an environment that is beneficial to my offspring. I'm not going to birth offspring. They don't want to tell you about that. They don't want to tell you about that. Because then you might start thinking, okay, well, we're a number of different generations post being on the plantation. These bandits are saying the same thing. They ain't did nothing, can't do nothing, don't want to do nothing. There's always something standing in the way. In this case, they're telling you a book of food stamps rendered them useless. A book of food stamps rendered them useless. Then you were an expendable, nothing ass bitch to begin with. That's the only conclusion that you can make out of that. Mind you, women of no color were on welfare too. How many of y'all have ever heard a man of no color say welfare took them out of the home? Even though their women were on it the most. So I came on here and said the part that they left out is one, welfare never put men out of the home. I should have put, if they did, you were the weak ass, expendable ass, nothing ass bitch anyway, and you didn't deserve to be in the home, because that's really what it is. If somebody can come put you out your home, you don't belong in it, period. And I said, if someone here would have read the welfare law, they would know that it was actually a stepfather clause that said a man should be providing. And anyone who reads over the welfare addendum will see that they said that if a man is in the home and he is able-bodied, then they are assuming that he is the provider of that home. So nobody came and put the man out the home. They simply said, if you have an able-bodied man in there, then you don't qualify because he should be working and providing. And that should be common sense to anybody, duh. Why are you as a man sitting up in a home with a woman with some kids between providing nothing, bandit? So what they were really trying to do is stop bandits from freeloading on women with children, drinking the milk in her refrigerator that welfare bought when he should have been out there getting a job. But again, if food stamps can take you out of your home, you a useless, nothing ass bitch anyway. You shouldn't even be having no kids to begin with. But what black men were doing, and it's documented, Even though they couldn't provide for their kid, they sure were going around creating more of them, though. Kind of looks like what they're doing in 2023. And ain't nobody putting them out the home. But I said the law assumed he was an able-bodied provider, which meant she didn't qualify, too. The man out of the home clause was only in 6 states and only lasted 4 years. Keep in mind, these bandits are telling you they're so weak, defective, and ineffective that a clause for welfare that only existed in 6 states for 4 years was able to disable their family to the degree that in 2023, their families is still disabled. Sounds like you're just a nothing ass bitch and always was. That's what that means. You were born a nothing ass bitch and you will die one. Nothing about you is strength. Nothing about you is effective. Nothing about you is manhood. They're telling you who they are. When they complain that a book of food stamps rendered them useless and disabled their family from the 1960s all the way to 2023, yeah, that sounds like nothing ass bitches to me. Generation after generation after generations, what you have given birth to is by and large a group of nothing ass bitches. That's what you've given birth to. Generation after generation after generation. There should not be any black man in 2023 posting this video talking about the man out of the home rule that was literally dismantled in 1968. After 1968, the man out of the home rule didn't even exist. Or also known as the stepfather clause. It didn't exist after 1968. You ain't got back in the home yet? Y'all some bitches. Anyway, I said number 3, a black woman, this is documented facts. A black woman went to the Supreme Court and fought to get the man out of the home rule tossed out because she lost her welfare over a bandit who was cheating on his wife with her, but wasn't providing for her or his family. If that don't sound like the struggle bandits that you've been dealing with in 2023, I don't know what would. But anyways, they're talking about a black woman chose welfare. Okay, it was a black woman that went and got this law dismantled. Why didn't black men? Why didn't black men? They wanted to be in the home so bad. And then I cited the case King v. Smith. You can go look it up. It's going to tell you the same thing. This black woman was slumming with a dusty, expendable struggle bandit who could only run dick but couldn't provide nothing. She lost her welfare because she kept letting said bandit cheat on his wife with her, not provide nothing, because black women ain't never had no standards, boundaries, or expectations. You should have had a boundary that a married bandit who ain't providing for his family ain't gonna come up and lay in your home. The very least that he could do is be providing for yours. Really, they needed the man out of the home room, sounds like. Because it sounds like these bandits was doing exactly what they doing now, dragging they 3 trash bags from home to home, trying to figure out where they can lay their dust. That's what you was doing. And really, we need something similar to that now. Absolutely get these dusty, treasonous, philandering struggle bandits out your home. If a book of food stamps can do it, can we bring back food stamps, please? But I said 4, in order for the woman to receive welfare, the man had to have already been continually absent. This is the terminology you will find if you actually read the welfare law. And then I said 5, if black men wanted to be in a home with their kids so badly and felt welfare was stopping them, why didn't they get together and file a class action lawsuit to get back in their homes? And finally 6, if a rule that only lasted for 4 years in 6 states was able to destabilize the black family, but nobody else's, despite all races of people being on welfare, white men never complained that white women being on welfare took them out of the home, although white women were on it the most, then your families were already broken, and y'all are simply blaming welfare for what you willingly did, which is abandoning your children back then the same way you abandon them now. This is literally the only logical conclusion you can come to. A 4-year man out of the home rule that didn't even apply in all states should never be anything that could destabilize a black family, and only the black family. Exactly. PwC said it, terminally absent. Exactly. And he could be there if he wasn't able to work. If he was disabled to where he couldn't work, he could be in the home too. She'd still get welfare. That's why they have the disclaimer, able-bodied. Meaning if you are capable of working and providing, then yes, you should be working and providing, obviously. These are alpha male dominant heads of home. So why do we have to tell you that welfare simply said if you got your raggedy ass in the house, then you should be paying some bills? Black women been Christian for a long time, but disregarded that verse that said if a man don't provide, he's worse than an infidel. I do know that. I do know that. And if you go look up what an infidel is, it's a person who goes against the Christian religion, which means they're the Antichrist. That's what that means. The Antichrist is someone who opposes Christianity. If Christ is a part of Christianity, you cannot oppose Christianity and not oppose Christ at the same time. So therefore, your trifling bandit who's sitting up in your home, according to that Bible, is worse than the Antichrist. But you still letting them, though. You still letting them. You still ain't making him be a provider. The Bible says he needs to. And it doesn't say you need to go 50-50 with him. The Bible says nothing about you being a ride or die and holding your man down during hard times. That's something y'all done set up here and created. No, the Bible says if he does not provide, he is a nothing ass bitch infidel. Get rid of her. That's what the Bible says. But these bandits are telling you they're too defective. They're telling you they're too defective. Look, a dumb bandit comes over here and say, it's not gonna work. Yeah, bandit, it is though. It is working though. So I came on here and said, also it is documented that Black men were actually abandoning their families because they couldn't provide for them long before Black people were even able to get on welfare. And his abandonment is actually what caused her to have to be on welfare to begin with. Nobody broke up the Black family more than Black men. Here said bandit comes again. We did. Yeah, the only reason why you can spell BS is because it only requires a B and an S, bandit. Because I can already tell you barely literate just by the spaces that you put in between STFU. That acronym doesn't have any spaces, bandit, and you put too many spaces in between BS too. Then look at what he says. I want y'all to pay particular attention to this. If the man can provide, it's because the white man wouldn't hire them. Who do Black men submit to? Because if you sitting up here with your nothing ass bitch ass, depending on white man to provide for you, you're ineffective. You are ineffective, you're defective, and I will take food stamps over you too. Why am I not taking food stamps over a dusty bandit who can't do anything unless a man of no color allows them to? Never mind you going out there and making your own jobs. Never mind you building up your own communities. You sitting there as a man waiting for another group of men to take care of you. Nothing ass bitch. And I want some bandits to come over here because I'll open these phone lines so quickly and I'll tell you they ain't gonna come over here. I dare them to. I dare you to come over here. I dare you, bandit. Thank you, Giggles. Giggles said, new addition to the stingy lingo log, TBMOF and BMW is gonna be NAB, nothing as bitch. You heard it here first. We're coming. For real. No, they are. Like, this is a nothing ass bitch narrative. Only a nothing ass bitch would sit up and say they couldn't provide for their family because a white man wouldn't give them a job. I ain't never heard a white man say he couldn't provide for his family because anything that black men are doing. Nothing that black men do has ever impeded white men's ability to provide for their family. Why? Now, black men will sit up here and tell you all day, we came. No, we were kings. We was warriors. We was building civilization, but you ain't built no civilization since then, though. If your whole history is you being a king and a warrior, building civilizations, then why do you keep talking about you can't build because men of no color won't let you? Sounds like you a nothing ass bitch, and your whole history is really composed of you being a nothing ass bitch. You ain't built nothing ever. You ain't ever built nothing. Because if it is in your lineage and in your blood to be building civilizations, you will build them wherever you went. The only thing you building is dust and single mothers. That's all you building, and confused biracial who will get on TikTok and drag you. Sitting up here talking about if the man couldn't provide is because the white man wouldn't hire him. If you don't get your raggedy nothing ass out of here, I don't want to hear none of this. Like, why do I want to hear that you depended on a white man to provide for you? But then you got a black male worshiper sitting up here talking about, oh, black women want this because the white man taught them this. Well, why don't you ask the white man to teach your dusty, unemployed bandit how to get a job or how to build something so they ain't dependent on another group of men? Why don't you tell them that? So then I said, why are y'all dependent on the white man to provide jobs to you? Sounds like y'all were weak, conquered bucks and shouldn't have had families to begin with. And really, if black women were operating from female nature, they wouldn't have any families. Then look at this dusty bandit. Trash opinion and ignorant black women are the finest. So it's ignorant for me to tell them they shouldn't be dependent on a white man. If your bandit is dependent on a white man, you might as well go get you one. Like, for real. How is it a trash, ignorant opinion to tell some bandits to stop being dependent on just go suck some big bandits? Like, for real. For real. Like, y'all need to. You need to get you some knee pads, spend your time on your knees in a backwood alley sucking dick. You will make more money doing that. So then I put on here, and y'all are proud to be neutered and so weak that someone else was not only able to put you on a plantation and turn you into they bitches for 400 years, but when you got off the plantation, they were also able to remove you from your home and replace you with some food stamps. It sounds like some expendable bandits to me. The fact that y'all actually promote this publicly says a lot. And it does. It says a lot. The bandits will be publicly putting on here that some food stamps was able to render them ineffective. Food stamps not only took them out of their home, but destabilized their families from the 1960s all the way up here to 2023 because the raggedy bandits are still using it as an excuse. So you were always a nothing ass bitch, and that's how you ended up on the plantation. And you might find yourself back on somebody else's plantation because you're still a nothing ass bitch, and you ain't got that nothing ass bitch out of your system. And black women, you ain't about to pray them out of being nothing ass bitches. They have to want to not be a nothing ass bitch. You can only hope that they can be a something ass bitch, but they don't want to. Let me show y'all this black male worshiper really quickly. I gotta find her post because let me find her post on here. Yeah, because you got abandoned on here. One person said, I think we're conditioned to look at ourselves as victims of the American system. Mama and Papa had issues in the first place and were not together, which caused Mama to have to seek aid from the government. Now, this is the truth. This is a black man telling the truth. He said, I don't know any grown black woman in my family or otherwise that would have turned down a good, well-earning black man just so that she could stay in the projects on welfare. We got to take accountability as a people and realize that there was a decline socially amongst the poorest of us. A big part of that was black men losing opportunities for gainful employment. This is not true. This is not true. But nonetheless, black men weren't, now, yeah, they closed off the factories, but black men, go create your own jobs. Go create your own economy. Stop depending on another man. So this person is saying they refused to hire black men in the workforce during those times, which is a lie. We already read the Moynihan report. They were more employed than black women despite being less educated because of their male privilege. Because as much as these are conquered, dusty, neuter struggle bandits, they're very privileged because they are males. Their male privilege has enabled them during these times to be more employed than black women, despite being less educated. So I came on here and said they actually didn't refuse to hire black men. Black men were more employed than black women, despite their refusal to pursue higher education. And again, if black men were being denied jobs, why didn't they take their case to the Supreme Court like they did when they wanted access to Becky? If black men had time to go to the Supreme Court on 4 different occasions before Loving v. Virginia, then they also had time to go to the Supreme Court to challenge employment discrimination. They didn't challenge employment discrimination because having a job wasn't important to them. They went to the Supreme Court to fight anti-miscegenation laws because having access to women of no color was important to them. History shows that y'all are lying. You can try to rewrite history, but many people know the truth already. Look at what this black male worshiper said. Loving v. Virginia was a non-black male who wanted to right to marry outside his race. And as far as black men not wanted to work, she said not wanted. If you don't get off of here and get hooked on phonics, you should be able to spell wanting. It's not wanted. It should say, and as far as black men not wanting to work and needing to show up to the Supreme Courts for better laws and rights. Look, she put it in capital letters, they did. She's putting it in capital letters, they did. And then she says, this is how we got affirmative action laws, which barely works, and disability protections. The welfare system has been a huge disservice to our community. She's a nothing ass bitch enabler. She is. So I came back and said, maybe you didn't read or perhaps you couldn't comprehend. I said black men petitioned the Supreme Court 4 times before Loving v. Virginia. Meaning one of the cases, Page v. Alabama, in which a black man petitioned the Supreme Court to be with a white woman was in 1888, which was before Richard Loving was even born. Like, mind you, in 1888, nobody was even thinking about conceiving Richard Loving. Black men were in the Supreme Court, though, trying to get access to Becky. Why do y'all think they even made anti-miscegenation laws? We gonna show you a video on that coming up next. The reason anti-miscegenation laws were even created was because your bandits that you keep birthing, the bandits that you kept birthing, rushed off the plantation and started trying to lay up with the woman who was helping to buck break them. That's why anti-miscegenation laws were even created. And nobody wants to ask why anti-miscegenation laws were created. But if you look into it, you will see it's not because there was any man of no color who was afraid that a black man would breathe them out when they never did it before. That's something y'all done made up to glorify and worship these bandits. The only people who have ever successfully bred out a group of people were men of no color. It has never been black men. The reason anti-miscegenation laws were created was because your bandits jumped off the plantation and ran straight for Beckisha. So that's why they then said, well, wait, let's create these laws to force these bandits to marry black women. because they ain't marrying black women. They over here trying to slum with our women, the throwbacks. Then when men of no color realized, hey, them slumming with our throwbacks is to our benefit, not only can we further neutralize this bandit, extract the wealth out of his community, we can also lower his numbers and increase ours. Because everybody knows the pathology of these trash bag bandits except the women giving birth to them. Then I said, second, affirmative action wasn't obtained by black men going to the Supreme Court to file a lawsuit. And I'm not sure where you're getting that from. Just say you're a delusional black male worshiper so we can move on. And it's because she is. Affirmative action was obtained through the civil rights movement. Not because black men went and decided to go fight the Supreme Court. Like, these black male worshipers are stupid. They're dumb. And that's why they over there in the manosphere looking stupid, getting exactly what they deserve because they dumb. You shouldn't have been worshiping no bandits to begin with. So whatever you get is what you get. When I was dumb enough to defend bandits and I got attacked, I was getting what I get. I need y'all to like the video, please. I need you guys to like the video, please. We're going to pause for the call so you can like the video. I'm going to pop my gum in y'all's ear too if y'all don't hurry up. Like the video, I'm going to pop my gum in your ear. Y'all, can you please get the likes up? We're at 725. If we could just get it to 1,000 likes, then I won't have to pop my gum in y'all's ears. So yeah, if we could just do that, that would be great. Actually, while y'all doing that, let me find this video that I'm gonna show y'all to prove what I was talking about. Because a lot of people tag me in these videos on TikToks. There are like 2 of them. And in these videos, they're getting down to the bottom of essentially why anti-miscegenation laws were created to begin with. And it's something that I have been delving into anyway. I mean, you don't sit here and help with the whitewashing of Egypt, get knocked off the little bit of a ring that you had because you were wallowing in throwbacks. And then once you get on a plantation, that desire ends. That's not how it works. These bandits have been chasing whiteness, and it's really the only thing that they care about too. Let me try to find the other video. I think it might be in my email, but let me get this one first. Let me show y'all these other videos. And I went and pulled up the article too. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Where is it? This one? Okay, let me see. Hold on, y'all.
It says, this
Okay,
was a law.
Okay, Let me share the screen with y'all. All right, here we go.
It says, this was a law that was made in 1889, and as you know, 1865 was when quote unquote black people were made free. They had to make a law because there was an excessive amount of black men immediately trying to marry or get with white women. So they had to force black men to marry black women or else to go to prison. Like, they literally had to force black men to marry. So when they're talking about this, oh, welfare took a black man out of her home.
And really, do y'all remember a while back, me and Nyla did a live stream and she mentioned this several times on here? She mentioned that they had to put legislation in place to force black men to marry black women. So this isn't the first time I've heard of this. I don't know what live stream she said it on, but she definitely said it on a live stream that we did a while back.
More black women, you're not submissive enough, or black women is black women that. No, they literally, white men literally wanted the black family to come together, which is why they try to say that black men, you either need to marry a black woman or go to prison, because they wanted to be white men so bad. But as soon as they offered that damn plantation, they were trying to marry white women. So it says, 1887, Ohio legislation repeals all laws establishing or permitting distinctions of color, including intermarriage bans. 1888, U.S. Supreme Court in Maynard versus Hill 125, U.S. 190, not an intermarriage case, decides that marriages are not contracts in the sense of those constitutionally protected. 1889, George II Code, Section 2422. The marriage relation between white persons and persons of African descent is forever prohibited, and such marriage shall be null and void. 1890, the Constitution of Mississippi, Article 14, Section 263, says the marriage of a white person with a Negro or mulatto, and you know that back then, biracials knew that they were biracials and weren't trying to claim to be black, but that's a whole nother video. Or person.
Let me go back and let me pause for the cause. Because she mentioned in here, because I've been telling you guys, biracials being classified as black is something new. In this country, for the longest time, for the majority of the time since their existence, they were classified as a separate race, and that's because they are. They're not black. So when she put on here in 1890 Constitution of Mississippi, Section 263, the marriage of a white person with a Negro or mulatto, or person who shall have 1/8 or more of Negro blood, they weren't classified as black, or else they would just put Negro. They recently became black. They haven't always been classified in this country as black. So black people running around talking about the one drop rule, the one drop rule. During the time of the one drop rule, mixed people were considered mulatto. During the one drop rule, mixed people were not even considered black. They created the one drop rule, and then after that, they became black for wealth purposes. But up until the one drop rule, no, they weren't considered black. No, ma'am. They sure were not. And now they've become black so much, specifically biracial women, that they're the representation for black women. Black women are not the representation for black women. Biracial women are.
Another time, but even that shows that they're not black. So you see that in the 1800s, okay, in the 1800s, the late 1800s, soon as our ancestors got off the plantation, they were running to marry white women.
Now, there's something else I want to show y'all too. Hold on. There's another video I want to show y'all too, where somebody came and pulled up an article. But understand, no, they were not, biracial people were not in this country, always considered black. The only people who's really pushing the blackness on them right now are black people. Y'all are the only people who are actually pushing blackness on them. And I want y'all to understand that too. But let me look at this other video really quickly. Let me find where it's at. thought I downloaded this video. Look, even Destiny know they nothing ass bitches, but we'll get into that later.
It says, this was a...
Okay, let me show y'all this video now. Hang on. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay, where's my video? Hold on. Okay, here we go. This is the other video I was looking for, and she put an article in there, so here we go with this one.
It says, this was a law that was made in 1889, and as you know, 1865 was when quote-unquote Black people were made free. They had to make a law because there was an excessive amount of Black men immediately trying to marry or get with white women. So they had to force Black men to marry Black women or else to go to prison. Like, they literally had to force Black men to marry. So when they're talking about this, oh, welfare took a Black man out of her home, or Black women, you're not submissive enough, or Black women this, Black women that. No, they literally, white men literally wanted the Black family to come together, which is why they tried to say that Black men, you either need to marry a Black woman or go to prison, because they wanted to be white men so bad. But soon as they offered that damn plantation, they were trying to marry white women. So it says, 1887, Ohio legislation repeals all laws establishing or...
So let me show y'all the actual article that they're talking about. This right here is the article that she had. Hold on, let me click this off. This is the article she had in the screenshot for anybody who's wondering. This is what she had in her background. And she's referencing this that says slave and free Black marriage in the 19th century. This is it. This is it. And as she's saying, this Black man don't look very happy. He looks disgruntled and weird. Notice how she doesn't have any makeup on. She has her natural hair. She looks very submissive and put together. And this bandit still ain't happening. This bandit still ain't happening. This is vintage dust all over him. There's vintage dust even in the background. Mad. Remember who was it? Was it Sidney Poitier or the other dude that tried to strangle the Black woman because he had to marry her? Who was it? It was an actor. I think it was Sidney Poitier, who tried to strangle his Black fiance his Black wife that he was forced to marry because he really wanted to marry the women who were helping him to be broken on the plantation. Sammy Davis Jr. I get them I really get them confused. But yeah, it was Sammy Davis Jr. Okay. Oh, is my mic going in and out? Let me see something with my audio, because it's probably Zoom. Zoom be doing this, because I don't think my audio was an issue going in and out. Y'all let me know if it goes out now, but I changed the audio setting. It really shouldn't. Oh, okay, that's why it's going on. No, it's supposed to be on the different one. It wasn't even on the one that it was supposed to be on, so maybe that's why it was going in and out. But yeah, this is just bandits being bandits. This is what they've always been doing largely. Largely, this is what they've been doing, being treasonous and treacherous, and Black women have largely sit by and act like they didn't notice or just engage in full-on worship of these bandits. And now they're sitting here doing it with a passport movement because they done struck out with Becky. I sound low? Okay, let me see something. Let's see. How about now? Does it sound louder? Let me see. I might turn my microphone up. Turn it all the way up. Y'all said y'all can hear me. It's just low. Let me listen to the playback. Hang on. Let me listen to the playback. Yeah, but I changed the audio setting. It really shouldn't. Oh, okay. That's why it's going. It's supposed to be on a different one. It wasn't even on the one that it was supposed to be on. So maybe that's why it was going in and out. Oh, okay. Here. Now let me see something. Did it go up? Okay, let me see something. Did it go? Okay, let me see something. I wanted to Let's see. I turned the mic up. Now, does it sound louder? It literally should be turned up. Turn it all the way up. Because somebody in the chat box, hear me, is just low. Somebody in the chat box earlier was saying that, let me listen to the playback. I was too loud. Hang on, let me listen to the playback. Yeah, but I changed the audio setting. It really shouldn't. Oh, okay, that's why it's going. So maybe that's why it's going. Oh, okay. Now let me see something. Did it go up? Yeah, no, people are trolling. Did it go? I wanted to see. I turned the mic up. Yeah. Does it sound? Yeah, it's good now. It literally should be turned up. Okay, yeah, it's good now. I think it was just a delay. But yeah, bandits just been bandits at the end of the day. Let me see what else do I got that applies to that if I went through all I needed to go through with that one. Give me a second. I'll get into the black male worship later since we on the topic of bandits and their preferences. Because you got this loud screeching black male worshiper who's over here looking as dumb as she can possibly look. But we won't get into her until later. I want to show y'all some videos really quickly. Why did I just have a mind freeze? Because I know I need to show y'all something. Now, what is this one? I was going to show. No, I don't think I'm gonna talk about that one. Did y'all hear that story about the transformer that was like a OnlyFans model or whatever, and said that basically he doesn't disclose the transformation process to potential suitors because they're too judgmental? Let me share the screen with y'all. I'm gonna show y'all. I'm basically talking about this. Have y'all seen this? This was just a junk topic, but have y'all seen this? I want y'all to read the caption real quickly. I want y'all to read the caption. Because listen, all I gotta say is boys will be boys, okay? They will be. Listen, boys will be boys at the end of the day. No matter how you feel, at the end of the day, the pathology is going to be the same. The pathology is going to be the same. This person is out of Canada. But listen, as much as these bandits sit up here and talk about how they love women of no color, how they're so much better than the black woman or whatever, pull in the okie doke. I want to show y'all what they really out here doing. Let me show y'all what they really out here doing. Because they'll toe tag a preference in a minute because they're the most desired men, right? So we're going to read over this story about why these desired men can't seem to take rejection. They have so many options. Why does Bandit toe tag this woman for rejecting him? It says a Minnesota woman was gunned down outside her workplace for repeatedly rejecting a coworker's relentless advances. Nicole Hammond was toe tagged in the parking lot of her St. Cloud workplace on October 24th after her coworker Jordan Carpenter shot her in the back. Carpenter, 36, fled but was tracked down about 3 hours later, hiding in a home nearby Sioux Rapids, probably with a black male worshiper. The suspect was in possession of a handgun and was arrested on toe tagging charges. The woman had texted a creepy coworker one day before her toe tagging and insisted that she did not want to be touched or manipulated by him, a probable cause statement obtained by the Kansas City Star revealed. So these bandits are the most desired. They got the most options. But whenever one preference shows that she doesn't prefer them, this is what they do. He couldn't just go on about his day and be desirable to somebody else in that work office. He had to toe tag her because she didn't want him. Hammond had repeatedly rejected Carpenter's romantic advances in the months leading up to her being toe tagged, asking him not to make things uncomfortable at work. This is the best they can do, I guess. I mean, listen, when have y'all saw black men with any woman that was just like a high quality woman? Not very homely. Okay. So I guess this is the best that they can do, anything white at the end of the day, because whiteness validates everything that they are. It makes them feel like they're less of a nothing ass bitch when in actuality they are still nothing ass bitches. But this is the woman that he was pursuing. Now they'll tell you women of no color have been chasing them. I ain't seen it happen yet. It looks like y'all chasing them. Police found a text Hammond sent to a friend saying Carpenter was mad at her. The harassment was evident among other coworkers who said Carpenter had a bad temper. So listen, I want y'all to see how these bandits get described as they project their personality onto you. These bad temper, bad attitude, nasty, can't keep a woman, always in a disgruntled mood type bandit. And that's why they're running around toe tagging everybody who don't want. Nastiest attitudes on the planet. And really, people be talking about these bandits as if they're nice. These bandits are not nice. They are disrespectful. They are cheaters. They ain't got no money. They conquered, they're expendable, and they got their nasty attitudes. Can't even hold a conversation. And let me pause for the calls and let y'all hear. I'm going to do it after this. How Destiny telling it to do. He a nothing ass bitch. I literally had to watch this clip over and over and over because at the end of the day, it's like, why do y'all sit up in these spaces and think that somebody is going to share your distorted struggle bandit logic? No one is. No one agrees with you, struggle bandits. You are sitting there looking stupid on your own alongside the dusty black male worshipers who are too stupid to engage in reciprocal relationships or even require it. Okay, pretty princess, you get to get out of here because ain't nobody making fun of anybody. I'm just going, look, this is your warning. I'm not going to block you. Don't block her. Don't block her. This is your warning. If you're too sensitive to for the content, then just go. Nobody's making, when did anybody make fun? Everybody's mentioning these undesirable bandits with a nasty attitude. What are you talking about? Yeah, but they're entitled, they're selfish, they got the highest numbers of narcissism. There's nothing about them that's nice. Like, I really don't even understand why so many Black women like put on capes for large groups of Black men. Like, why are you defending every Black man just because he's Black? That doesn't make any sense. Why are y'all doing that? I could see you defending Black men that you know, like your friends, your family members, but y'all will throw on a cape for any man as long as he Black. Just as long as he Black, and don't care if he nice. He doesn't even have to like you. You will just throw on a big cape for you. I never understood defending all Black men. Like, I never understood that. I never understood that. So now she has this little memorial here. I guess she wasn't submissive and friendly enough. She looked fit, but I guess she wasn't submissive and friendly. And maybe he didn't perceive her to be feminine after she rejected him. Here is the bandit. As you can tell, he looks like an educated lame. Turned Pookie after he toe tagged his preference. See, because and let me pause for the calls on educated lanes, because it's so interesting. Did y'all notice how it's so interesting that these bandits will sit here and say, oh, Black women want the thugs, Black women will only go for the dudes who got 7 kids with 7 baby mamas. But literally, they're over here telling Sierra she shouldn't have picked the educated lame, quote unquote. They're calling him a simp, telling her she made a mistake. She should get with the Pookie that got the multiple kids by multiple different women. If these bandits really believed that you should be with these educated lames instead of Pookie and Ray Ray, they would not be mad at Sierra. They would be using Sierra as an example of what you should do. They would not be telling you that Sierra shouldn't be with Russell Wilson. She should be with Future. They would not be defending Future. They would not be condemning Russell Wilson and calling him a simp. They would be celebrating Sierra and saying, look, Sierra did what we think you should do. Leave the Pookie alone and go with the educated lane. But instead, they can't get Russell Wilson's dick out their mouth, and they can't stop mentioning Sierra either. Somebody say he don't drink water. Ew, gross. Like, for real. Like, for real. This is him. This is this soulless, empty-eyed bandit with a nasty attitude and felonious intents. I already read the article. That was it. All they said down here is he didn't render aid, go to work, nor did he call 911. One of Hammond's supervisors remembered her as a beautiful, smart, determined young woman. You deserve to live your best life, but instead you got your life taken from you. Savannah Shaw Townley shared on Facebook, our team is forever broken without you. Fly high, angel. Look. She didn't want him. I guess she wasn't feminine and friendly. They said that these women are feminine, fit, and friendly. She fit, but that's about it. And now that they done toe tagged Becky, and Becky's all over the internet talking about how she got the same Black man. Now they own this passport struggle bandit. And let me show y'all some videos about how delusional these passport struggle bandits are. Let me see if this is the one that I need. No, this is just a thumbnail. All right, let me get into my inbox really quickly and get these videos, because somebody tagged me in these videos too. Y'all be tagging me in a lot of videos with these throwbacks from with these throwbacks from TikTok, because I want y'all to notice that this is the same okie doke, literally the same okie doke that they did. Listen,
video and peeper out.
y'all listen, I'm gonna show y'all this one last, but this is just funny. This whole reptilian shape-shifting thing is kills me every time. I miss the reptilian videos. I really do. I miss the reptilian videos, but let me show y'all what I want to show y'all. Now we're gonna go to this video. Because the same exact thing that they did with women of no color, where they used to be sitting up in videos or enabling women of no color to sit up in videos and talk negatively about Black women. It's the same thing they doing now, i.e. this video here. Let me show it to y'all. And I want y'all to read the caption, and I want y'all to notice the similarities. Think back as far as you can when you would see on social media women of no color and the bandits that they're dating sitting up in videos similar to this one, talking about how much better they are. I want y'all to remember that as you watch this.
These women are just jealous seeing their these Western guys that having a good life. Yeah,
Yeah,
and,
that's true.
and then they can give that to their own women. Yeah, is it enough? Is it our fault?
It's not our fault. They didn't even say that we steal their men. You know, no, we don't steal your men. Your men come here.
Yeah.
So
They even said that we steal their men. We didn't put lotion in their food or anything. They're just in love with our natural beauty.
yeah.
And I want y'all to look at this too. Look. Now, Black women, for the most part, are minding their own business, okay? Largely, Black women couldn't care less about a passport bandit. They couldn't care less. But you have bandits sitting here, again, doing the exact same thing that they did with women of no color. There's no difference in what they're doing. The ethnicity of the woman simply changed, or the nationality, sorry. Nothing has changed but the group of women. This is the same exact thing they did with Becky, because these are not progressive or calculating or smart bandits. They recycle the same trash bag techniques and they do them over and over and over. They're doing now with their passport movement the same thing they did with the swirling Save Yourself Black man. And they want to act like Save Yourself Black man was about a passport, but Saving Yourself Black man came before the passport bandits, and they were saving themselves to Becky. Sorry, y'all, I was eating some whipped cream, some wetty whip. Anyway, do y'all like to eat fresh strawberries and ready whipped cream? Because I love it. But they were basically in there talking about, we're not taking your man's coming over here, we're better for your man. I'm gonna show y'all another video with this crazy woman in it. Because the bandits essentially are the ones who have this going. Most Black women couldn't care less about a passport bandit, whether you get your passport and go. We just want to know what's taking you so long to get your passport and go. What is taking so long? These bandits been getting their passports and leaving for the 6 years that I've been on YouTube. They've been getting their passport and leaving. And still ain't left yet. They still ain't left yet. And I want to know why y'all ain't left yet. Why don't you go so these Filipino women who are already in a documentary complaining that they're being left single mothers to pot-belly bandits, why don't y'all just encourage them to go already so you can take that place? Because they ain't about to do nothing except run through your community and leave you single mothers and a trail of dust. That's all they about to do. And nobody needs to sit up here and be jealous when the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to be, you go get the same black man, and then you're going to be on the internet talking about you got the same black man. Why would we think you're going to have an outcome that's any different than what Becky got? Becky was once sitting up in videos too, talking about how she's the better woman. She got natural lice infected hair. She can treat the black man better. She even learning how to fry chicken according to Trick Daddy. According to Trick Daddy, these women, all they need to do is learn how to fry chicken and they giving you a run for your money. He's clearly had too much fried chicken, but nobody wants to say that though. And then if I say it, I hate black men. Looking like he's 9 months pregnant, ready to give birth, but sitting there talking about Becky can fry chicken as if he actually need another piece of fried chicken. And you don't. It's like y'all need to put the fried chicken down and ask somebody to make you a kale salad. Maybe you wouldn't be sitting there with a pot belly looking like you 9 months pregnant. We know damn well you ain't gave birth to nothing. And you can't give birth to nothing. We know you ain't pregnant with nothing but dust. But I want y'all to look at what they're doing though. This is what they're doing. Ain't nobody bothering them. When did black women out here are trying to focus on themselves for the most part? Black male worshipers are worshiping them though. Ain't nobody did nothing to them. Ain't nobody did nothing to them at all. Sitting up there comparing you to hyenas. What's the difference between them comparing you to hyenas and them saying white supremacy is comparing them to gorillas and apes? What's the difference? See, they had a problem when they were being depicted as apes and gorillas, but now they want to sit here and reduce you to a hyena. I'm telling you, they're the original white supremacists. That is what they're doing. They were being depicted as apes and gorillas, non-humans, and now they're turning around trying to depict black women as hyenas. Nothing original, nothing new about them, forever taking men of no colors ways and trying to market it as their own. You can at least be original with yours. Y'all were the original gorillas. Let's not be dishonest here. Who was being compared to gorillas and apes and lions and tigers and bears? You weren't being compared to lions and tigers and bears, so they're far more superior to you. But you were being compared to apes and gorillas, though. And now they're sitting up here comparing black women to hyenas. It's a problem. But I'll show you the real hyena, though. Let me show y'all the real hyena. What? Oh, hold on, because we gonna get into this dude whining and crying about his preference. But give me a second. I need to find the real hyena video. And where is it at? I know I put it on here. Oh, here it is.
Philippines, Thailand.
Look, this is your real hyena, okay? Let me show y'all this hyena here. Because really, but the bandits are the ones that got them up to this. Because again, they have to create the illusion that they're desirable. If they're talking about they're going to get their passports and black women are saying, we don't care, go already, just go quietly. They have to try to then create a scenario where black women are somehow worried about what they doing when we really ain't. Look at this.
Philippines, Thailand, like women that can speak very little English, women that don't have education.
The way you talk about don't underestimate women from all of these three countries. Cambodia, Philippines, and Thailand. Don't underestimate them. As significant girl, we are all smaller Christians. So did you. Do you know what I know? Do you know what I know? You think that we are low education, then you think wrong, though.
Now it's amazing that these social media influencers are jumping into the fray defending their women. And this is what we're talking about, specifically of Thai influencers. Between these two influencers, they have a reach of over 5 million accounts following them and purchasing the products. Now imagine all the influencers around the world rallying the troops of their nations.
That was your real hyena. Sitting up there screaming and jumping around in a video when don't nobody care. Okay? Nobody cares. But nonetheless, the bandits are the ones who have them doing this, okay? Bandits have them doing this. Nobody have them doing this but bandits, because through doing this, they can create the illusion that somehow different groups of women are fighting back and forth over them when really nobody even really wants them. Not even these women see suckers that they're trying to lick. They seeing suckers that they trying to lick. But y'all, let me show y'all this though, because y'all know how these bandits, they'll sit up here and say they going to these other groups of women, they submissive, they ain't gold diggers, they let a man be a man. I want to show y'all these two videos, okay? This is one of them. This is the first one. Look at this video. It says, when you decided to buy yourself a Chanel bag instead of paying rent and eating for 2 months, okay? That's what it says. Let's get into it. When you decide to buy yourself a Chanel bag instead of paying rent and eating for 2 months.
I gotta put me first. I gotta put me first. I promise you.
Okay. Now, let me show y'all the other video, okay? Because you saw this one. This is the first video. This is the second one. What happens after she posts that, though?
What you talking about?
Let's show you. Because this is what they really getting. And y'all tell me, does this look like a submissive preference, though?
Talking about? Why is it when I come home, I see a eviction notice on the front door? And look at my wife. Just to act like at home. Casually just packing stuff up while we getting put out. You mind telling me what happened?
Yes, I bought the car sitting outside.
Okay.
I bought myself a Chanel bag.
You bought yourself a Chanel bag, but you ain't paid for the mortgage? Are you crazy? Have you lost your mind? Did you really just sit here and tell me you bought a Chanel bag? Meanwhile, we were 7 months behind all our mortgage.
The lights are still on.
For who? Not for us? The next person that's gonna live in this house? That doesn't serve us any good.
You watch TV, there's a remote. You still got
Where am I gonna watch TV at? Outside, on the street?
Look,
You really sit here and act like ain't nothing going wrong and it's not a big deal, and we're literally getting put out of our house. Do you forget how hard we worked for this house? I saved for years to put even a down payment on this house. I trusted you with my money.
I bought you something.
I don't care about that. Take it back. I don't want anything.
Listen, first of all, let me say this, because I'll play this video again. Let me say this. If you 7 months behind in your mortgage, then one Chanel bag ain't about to make or break your situation. How Dusty Bandit, who's supposed to be a head of a household, next thing gonna be saying Chanel bags took them out of the house. How are you 7 months behind? You got bigger issues than a Chanel bag. If you are 7 months behind on your mortgage, it sounds like you got a house that you can't afford to pay for. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like even with your preference, you ain't no provider. Mind you, he said, you know how hard we work to keep this house. So it sounds like he broke and dusty, got a house that he didn't qualify to pay for. He's dependent on his preference to help him pay for it. And she like, nah, bruh, I want to rest in my femininity and go buy Chanel bags. You were saying that you a high value man, and now I'm spending your high value money. I don't understand how you 7 months behind and you complaining about a Chanel bag.
Talking about? Why is it when I come home, I see a eviction notice on the front door? And look at my wife. Just in there acting like, oh, casual just packing stuff up while we getting put out. You mind telling me what happened?
Yes, I bought the car sitting outside.
Okay.
I bought myself a Chanel bag.
You bought yourself a Chanel bag, but you ain't paid for the mortgage? Are you crazy? Have you lost your mind? Did you really just sit here and tell me you bought a Chanel bag? Meanwhile, we were 7 months behind all our mortgage. For who? Not for us? The next person's gonna live in this house? That doesn't serve us any good.
Watch TV, there's a remote. You still got.
Where am I gonna watch TV at? Outside, on the street?
Look,
You really sit here and acting like ain't nothing going wrong and it's not a big deal, and we're literally getting put out of our house. Do you forget how hard we worked for this house? I saved for years to put a down payment on this house. I trusted you with my money.
I bought you something.
I don't care about that. Take it back. I don't want anything.
And y'all, a bunch of bandits are doing responses to this video talking about why you don't trust a woman with your money. It sounds like he don't got the money, dumb bandit. What part of he's 7 months behind do you not get? If he's getting an eviction notice, then clearly he ain't got no money for her to manage, obviously. Clearly. The fact that you're 7 months behind and you getting an eviction notice is a problem, because you should be able to float your home, bandit. Why do she got to help you with your bills? Listen, y'all, I don't get this whole thing where women are okay helping a struggle bandit pay his own bill. You either a high value man or you ain't. You're either the head of the household, i.e. the provider and the authoritarian in the relationship, or you're not. Like, how long are y'all going to let them live in this contradiction of I'm the alpha male, you need to submit to me, I'm dominant, the man needs to lead, but then you can't even leave the bills on your own home? You let this house get 7 months behind? Because I guarantee you the mortgage is more than $1,000 a month. And if it's not, and you can't pay $1,000 a month, then you a broke, dusty bandit. You didn't need no house. Either way you pitch it, this is broke dust. These bandits say everything that they gonna go get them a preference. The preferences are feminine. They fit. She was definitely not fit, but whatever. They say they friendly, they cooperative, they submissive. If she buying your Chanel bags and you don't want her to, she clearly ain't submissive. Everything that you said here ain't true. But the question is, how did this alpha male dominant head of household bandit allow himself to be 7 months behind in his rent and his mortgage to where you got an eviction notice on your door? But then these bandits will come tell you to choose better. And I think you should choose better. Stop choosing bandits. Because really, when you're in the Black community, that's for the most part what you're going to choose. But then you got Black male worshipers out here, y'all. I want to show y'all this for shits and giggles. Because for Black women to even be in a video like this, like, I don't understand it. Where's my video? No, where's my video? Hang on a minute. Did I not download my, oh yeah, I did. Here's the video. Let me show y'all this video that don't make no sense. Other than to say Black male worship. Look at this, y'all.
Relationship status today. I mean, you can see, man, my relationship status, man. These my queens. These my beautiful girls right here, man. These are the girls that hold me down. They take care of me. They do everything for me, man. They eat my butt. All of them. They eat my butt. Back to back. Sometimes together, sometimes they take turns. They the ones who make me feel like the king that I am. You understand what I'm saying? Without them, I wouldn't be nothing.
Sure.
Yeah.
So how do you know if a woman is worthy of eating your butt?
Yeah, well, the only way I can know that you worthy of eating my butt is by the way you treat me. Before you can even be able to eat my butt, you understand what I'm saying? You gotta cater to me. You gotta show me that you're willing to sacrifice for me. You gotta show me that you love me. You gotta show me that you're gonna put work in for me, that you're gonna ride for me, that you're gonna be loyal to me, that you're gonna be faithful to me. And once you show me all of these things, then I will allow you to eat my butt. But that's the only way you can give me booty. Because you ain't giving me no booty head.
I can't. Why is he just randomly come say, I know you like it? No, ain't nobody lying. Unfortunately, this is what y'all need to be saying in the skit. By the way, this is what you need to say in the skit. Because listen, no matter how you pitch this is Black women's low self-esteem. You got, let me roll the clip back though. Because I want y'all to hear what this bandit is saying. Because I got a feeling he don't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of.
Relationship status today. I mean, you can see me in my relationship status, man. These my queens. These my beautiful girls right here, man. These are the girls that hold me down. They take care of me. They do everything for me, man. They eat my butt. All of them. They eat my butt. Back to back. Sometimes together, sometimes they take turns. They the ones who make me feel like the king that I am. You understand what I'm saying? Without them, I wouldn't be nothing.
Now, it's the part for me where he said, they make me feel like the king that I am. If you were to ask this bandit, where is his kingdom? Do you think he would be able to show you? No, he wouldn't be able to show you no kingdom. But you got 5 Black women sitting in here looking silly like low self-esteem having Black male worshipers. While he's talking about sometimes they take turns licking the dust off his booty. Basically. They look like they got low self-esteem and that they could walk away at any point in time, but they're too busy worshiping whiteness. He looks like a turd, by the way. I don't want to say it, but I guess I have to say it because y'all won't say it. These Black women are creating the illusion for some dusty trash bag bandits, but they are kings. And then when they go out into the real world where nobody is worshiping them, they're showing them how much of a nothing ass bitch that they are. Then they get mad at you because it's like, okay, well, you told me I was a king and he just showed me that I was a nothing ass bitch. This is why they mad at y'all. Because you want to create an illusion to shelter, to coddle the ego of a struggle bandit whose ego needs to be crushed because he ain't got no kingdom. You don't have a kingdom, bandit. I hope it's fake too, Ivy, because like, for real. Like, oh my God, like, I'll email it to you, Themis, because I want the good Christian folk. Because if nearly 90% of Black women in this country are Christians, you can just assume they're Christians. Why are they helping this infidel to be an infidel? Sitting up here talking about how they eating booty. Like,
I mean, you can see me in my.
I wish I would put my tongue on a dusty booty hole. First of all, I ain't put my tongue on a clean one. Let me just tell y'all right now, she don't toss salad. Oh my God, thank you. Black Sapphire says, saying I can't stop laughing for that video. That's really not funny, but so ridiculous. And it's disgusting. It is completely disgusting. It's disgusting. But listen, let me let y'all know. I'm not putting my tongue, I don't toss salad. I don't. The only salad that I'm gonna toss is the chicken Caesar salad or like a garden salad with ranch dressing. Those are the only salads I'm willing to toss. I'm not tossing no salad off no dust buckets, raggedy, dusty booty hole. It ain't gonna happen. You can have the cleanest booty that you want to. I promise my tongue won't go there. So, and look, whatever you want to do in the bedroom, do it in the bedroom. This ain't Sin After Dark, so we really not even go get into that. But whatever you want to get into, do whatever you want to do. I don't do. This is something I don't do. I never did it. I'm not gonna do it. If he want me to do it, I'm leaving. I would divorce a man for even asking me to. If I was married, I'm divorcing you. If this is what you want me to do, we not compatible. We just not. We're not compatible if this is what you think I'm gonna do. Why, like booty holes and feet, these are two things, these are boundaries for me. These are boundaries for me. Don't ask me to suck no toes. I'm not, no, definitely not the big one. And especially, I don't see how there's women out here sucking the big toe off of a bandit. I can't. I cannot. I'm not sucking no big toe, and I'm not putting my mouth on no booty. I'm not. Toes and booty holes, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And I don't even want to see your big toe. I don't want to see it. I just don't want to. No, but there are Black women out here literally putting their mouth on big toes and booty holes. I don't get it. Y'all not about to have E. coli been in my mouth. No, ma'am. I don't think so. I don't. Say whatever you want. If you need to go divest yourself to a Beckisha because I don't deal with toes and booty holes, then fine. Whatever. Go ahead, do it. Let me point you out to one. I'll help you find one because my mouth ain't going here. And my mouth definitely, even if I did do it, I'm not swapping tongues with no other women. I'm sure not. Nope, no ma'am. Nope, I don't think so. So you got this is Black male worship all over the place. None of them look happy. They probably all the providers. Let me get out of here and email this to Themis because I'm about to play this one video and then I'm going to go work out and pretend that I never saw this because let me send this in. I'm titling it Booty Head. No, I'm putting big toes and booty holes. I'm doing that. Sorry, I have to. I have to title it this way, Themis, because now I'm trying to be petty. So I'm titling it Big Toes and Booty Holes. Okay, now hold on. Because to me, this is such an interesting clip to me because I've said this several times and I find it really interesting that, and listen, for the people who have been saying they want me to have a discussion with Destiny, go tell him and then I'll have a discussion with him. I'll have a free discussion with Destiny. Anybody else got to pay me. Destiny and Themis can get it for free. But if y'all want me to talk to Destiny, then y'all can go let Destiny know and then I'll set it up. Because listen, I'm telling you how many times I had to I watched this clip over and over and over. Because this was the nicest way I've ever heard anybody tell somebody that they are a nothing ass bitch. And always been a nothing ass bitch. The way that he told them in this video that they're a nothing ass bitch and you need to go level up and become something other than a nothing ass bitch was almost poetic to me. So this is kind of like the 5th time today I watched this clip. I want to let y'all know. This is like the 5th time I've watched this clip. But anyway, let me play it. And make sure it's loud enough. Okay, it is. All right, let's go.
When women needed men, families worked out. As soon as women didn't need men, now all of a sudden families don't work out. To try to circle that back and try to pin that on men for not being nicer or not doing more or not going above and beyond to be an above average man for this average chick, you're telling men basically get out there, tap dance in a top hat and be excellent for these chicks.
Yeah, what you're saying is be excellent or pull up or like go above and beyond. I would view as like bare standards for being a decent human being. If your only way of getting a girl ever was like relying on the fact that she's going to work, that means you're a weak man. That means that you just don't offer anything. You're nothing. Like you're just a body that shows up at a factory, puts something together, and then goes home and thinks that that's enough to like land you some sort of relationship. And in the past it was, but I think it's a little bit sad that our standards would revert to that, and that we think it should go back to that. Like, oh God, like this woman can work a job, and now the fact that my paycheck isn't enough to win me a wife means that I'm completely and totally lost and hopeless. I think it's time to like step up and like be an actual decent person, like figure out how to be emotionally available in a relationship, figure out how to be a good partner, figure out how to make a woman date you, other than the fact that like society says she's not allowed to work a job and get a paycheck.
So basically, in a nice way, he's saying, figure out how to not be a nothing ass bitch since a woman can take care of herself. You're being rendered as a nothing ass bitch. If she's black, she probably got more money than you anyway. So you need to figure out how to not be a nothing ass bitch and be desirable. Basically, that's basically what he's saying. That's the gist of it. Okay. Let me just watch it one more time, because did this bandit really sit here and say, when women needed men, families stayed intact? The nothing ass bitchness is just like, tell me you're a nothing ass bitch without telling me you're a nothing ass bitch. Roll the clip.
When women needed men, families worked out. As soon as women didn't need men, now all of a sudden families don't work out. To try to circle that back and try to pin that on men for not being nicer or not doing more or not going above and beyond to be an above average man for this average chick, you're telling men basically get out there, tap dance in a top hat and be excellent for these chicks.
Yeah, what you're saying is be excellent or pull up or like go above and beyond. I would view as like bare standards for being a decent human being. If your only way of getting a girl ever was like relying on the fact that she's going to work, that means you're a weak man. That means that you just don't offer anything. You're nothing. Like you're just a body that shows up at a factory, puts something together, and then goes home and thinks that that's enough to like land you some sort of relationship. And in the past it was, but I think it's a little bit sad that our standards would revert to that, and that we think it should go back to that. Like, oh God, like this woman can work a job, and now the fact that my paycheck isn't enough to win me a wife means that I'm completely and totally lost and hopeless. I think it's time to like step up.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Figure out how to be emotionally available in a relationship. Figure out how to be a good partner. Figure out.
This is such a, oh my God, this is such a drag. Why did y'all want him in y'all space? I don't understand why they wanted to talk to this man. It's like, y'all know he's going to drag y'all easily. Like, it's like, this is why they needed the pearly fish, by the way, because if Destiny would have gave them the validation that they wanted, rather than tell them in multiple different nicer ways that they're a nothing ass bitch, they would be over there in Destiny's face all day, every day. Because ultimately, they're more in love with men of no color than women of no color. So if Destiny would have gave them the validation, do you think they would be over there cyber surfing pearly things? No. And really, the only reason why they mad is because she set up with her group of men and told them that they're not desirable. That is why. Had she not said in a video with that men of no color that they really want approval from, and then he tell them that they to raggedy nothing ass bitches, and not only that, but you go lower the status of this woman with your nothing ass bitch status. Had she not done that, they'd be fine. They'd be fine. There would never be an issue if Pearly didn't sit in a video with a man of no color who rejected everything that black men have to bring to anybody, which is very little, mind you. Had she not done that, they would be fine. There would be no issue. Now, they can run around and sit there and say she ain't racist or cop please. You just look weak and stupid at the end of the day. You look weak and dumb. Yeah, today, just like you did every other day. And no matter how much you try to justify it, you still brought this woman into your space, and she's sitting here making money off of you, running your channel while you getting 15% and she getting 85%. You look like some dumb nothing ass bitches who are getting pimped by a dead fish at the end of the day. But ultimately, Destiny represents men of no color. That's really who they want the validation from. And the only thing he's going to do is tell them in multiple different ways that you're a nothing ass bitch. Let's roll the clip again, because I'm telling y'all, I can't.
Women needed men, families worked out. As soon as women didn't need men, now all of a sudden families don't work out. To try to circle that back and try to pin that on men for not being nicer or not doing more or not going above and beyond to be an above average man for this average chick, you're telling men basically get out there, tap dance in a top hat and be excellent for these chicks. You know,
Yeah, what you're saying is be excellent or pull up or like go above and beyond. I would view as like bare standards for being a decent human being. Your only way of getting a girl ever was like relying on the fact that she's going to work. That means you're a weak man. That means that you just don't offer anything. You're nothing. Like you're just a body that shows up at a factory, puts something together, and then goes home and thinks that that's enough to like land you.
So 2 of the words he had, weak and nothing. All he needed to do was add ass bitch to that. And he would have, I'm telling y'all, he basically said it. He said, you're weak, you're nothing. All he had to do is include the ass bitch. And then he would have called them a weak ass, nothing ass bitch. He would have then told him you're weak, nothing ass bitch. He already said you're weak and you nothing. Destiny, just say ass bitch. After you say it, just say ass bitch. And then you got the whole thing, weak, nothing ass bitch. Now you could go so far as to say weak ass, nothing ass bitch, but then if you're saying ass too much, some people might not be comfortable saying ass after everything. I don't mind saying weak ass, nothing ass bitch, ass. I don't mind saying that. But Destiny basically was saying that there you weak and you nothing, and you a nothing ass bitch too. So anyway, let's continue.
Sort of relationship. And in the past it was, but I think it's a little bit sad that our standards would revert to that and that we think it should go back to that. Like, oh God, like this woman can work a job and now the fact that my paycheck isn't enough to win me a wife means that I'm completely and totally lost and hopeless. I think it's time to like step up and like be an actual decent person, like figure out how to be emotionally available in a relationship, figure out how to be a good partner, figure out how to make a woman date you other than the fact that like society says she's not allowed to work a job and get a paycheck.
And really, that's basically it. Because if the only way you can be something is if she has nothing, then you will weak ass, nothing ass bitch at the end of the day, just like Destiny said. Now, listen, as far as I'm concerned, Destiny said you're a weak ass, nothing ass bitch, period. That's what I think he said. Because you are. How do you feel comfortable sitting up basically saying, well, when women couldn't get nothing, do you not understand what you're saying, remedial dummy? You're saying that the only reason she was there to begin with is because she had no other option. That doesn't mean that you were special or attractive. And in fact, you want to stay in your nothing ass bitch status. That is what these bandits are doing. These bandits are saying, no, we want to continue to be nothing ass bitches. And now we just want to go back to a time where, granted, we were subjugated too, but still you had no option but to accept us in our nothing ass bitch status. We ain't gonna level up. We don't want to do better. So we gonna sit our weak asses on the internet like the nothing ass bitches that we are and complain because women can now provide for themselves, which rendered us useless. Well, you were useless to begin with because you said a book of food stamps rendered you useless. So it doesn't matter what laws are in place. You were an expendable, weak ass, nothing ass bitch, and nobody is going to tell you anything different but some dumb black male worshipers or a woman of no color who is a throwback, who is literally seeing suckers and licking them because y'all a bag of dum-dums, and everybody know that too. It just is what it is. They're going to keep getting the same responses. It doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, they want white men to validate them. They want white men to validate them. If that dude, what was his name? Nick Fuentes? Because wasn't Kanye West just hanging out with Nick Fuentes? Last I checked, Kanye West was just somewhere cyber slurping Nick Fuentes. Hold on. Because ain't Nick Fuentes the one that they complaining that Pearlie was sitting up with? Hold on. Yep. Here we go. Let me show y'all something. Let's see. Now, listen. When Kanye West was over here pandering to Nick Fuentes, paying him $15,000, they didn't have no problem with it. They didn't have no problem with this. But then when Nick Fuentes told y'all that y'all some nothing ass bitches and you lower the status of women of no color, that's when you had a problem. Kanye West paying Nick Fuentes nearly $15,000 out of his 2020 campaign funds. I didn't hear black men complaining about this though. I didn't hear them complaining about this, but then what? When the throwback sits up with Nick Fuentes and they talk about how they ostracize women who date you because you're a nothing ass bitch sitting up on the computer complaining, then you get mad because the dead fish decided to back her group of men as she always does. Why would you ever think that she gonna put you over her group of men? Why? Because she'll lick you like the sucker that you are. You think she got some special feelings? Please. Pearlie's feelings for the black manosphere is the same as a pimp's feelings for his hoes. You a moneymaker for her. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. If you didn't complain when Kanye West was sitting up with Nick Fuentes, don't complain when Pearlie do it. It just is what it is. They're just mad because Nick Fuentes didn't give them the acceptance that they wanted. And that Pearlie chick knew to sit there and shut her mouth rather than to go against her group of men, which ain't never gonna happen. And y'all silly as hell for thinking it would. When have women of no color ever went against their group of men for you? They might be dumb, but they ain't that dumb. They not that dumb where they go sit up here and go against the men who gave them their power for some expendable trash bag bandits that they can easily disempower. Probably don't even respect you. It's too easy to buck break you. It didn't take her long to come up in there and disempower you and exploit you like the bitches that you are. Y'all been some bitches. And the only thing Pearlie been doing is showing how much of a bitch y'all are. And everybody is going to do that. They're going to exploit you and show how much of an expendable bitch you are. Let me read these super chats, then I'm going to the gym. Thank you, Pep RP. I really appreciate it for the super chats. I'm going to make sure I got all y'all super chats because I'm about to go get on the treadmill, y'all. I'm about to go work out. I'm trying to be feminine, fit, and friendly so I can get me a struggle band, and I want me some black love. Yeah, right. I wish I would change one thing just to get a bandit, please. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. I might sit up here and gain 100 pounds just because. No, I really ain't gonna do that. I wouldn't go gain 100 pounds. No, I'm gonna be in the gym. I'm about to go get on the treadmill. I hate working out, by the way. I'm telling y'all, I hate working out. But so I got the squat machine in my bedroom, and then I go to the gym and I do about 45 minutes to an hour on the treadmill, and I do like a 9.5 incline. And then I do, my speed is like 3.8. So it's kind of like a soft jog. And that's what I go do in the gym. I do. So I'm about to get off of here and I'm going to go get in the gym, and I will see y'all later. Bye.